Eagle brand cigarettes, the mildest, smoothest brand of smoking tobacco in the land, brings you Hidden Harbor Mysteries. From his hospital bed, a former head of Hidden Harbor's underworld revealed the plot of mysterious Mistress Penumbra. After proving her army of female soldiers could plunge the city into terrified chaos, she is prepared to lead them in an invasion to conquer her true objective: Hidden Harbor's criminal underworld. Meanwhile, the Femme Phantom appears to have sent Private Detective Frank Horn into a deadly trap. Can either of them succeed in thwarting Penumbra's sinister threat? We'll find out in a moment. But first, friends, the weekend is almost here, so it's time to make plans for excitement with Eagle brand cigarettes. At the beach, the ballpark, or just around the block, you'll find that extra chuff in every puff to keep you going. Whether it's the first day of your honeymoon or the last item on your honey-do list, the brand to keep the weekend working is the one with the best flavor of all the leading brands. Eagle brand is proud to bring you tonight's chapter of Hidden Harbor Mysteries entitled Old Debts and New Obligations. In a small, darkened room, tucked away inside the labyrinth of Club Penumbra, Detective Frank Horn awaits his fate.
Oh, it's the left winger with the awesome right hook.
Americans, even on the verge of defeat, you talk like you rule the world.
Just an honest observation, sweetheart. If you're trying to play dead, strutting around in a red rubber catsuit won't exactly help you blend in.
Every army has a uniform. I serve at the pleasure of the mistress.
And turn your muscular back on the Red Army? Honest Abe? Well, the scourge of Poland and the terror of Carpathia. Or do I have that backward? Don't tell me you're a mercenary and not a patriot.
I am an instrument of pain and destruction.
Well, I didn't suppose you planned to cut all the secrets out of me, though that would be a nice change of pace.
Who sent you? Was it the Phantom Lady? Tell me, and I will kill them instead, yes?
So, was your husband a super secret sleeper Soviet too? Why did your boss punch his ticket and not yours? You don't seem busted up about it. Oh. Touchy subject, huh?
It has been so long since I broke a man with my bare hands. I forgot the pleasure it brings me.
You know, I'm starting to regret looking for you.
The spirit of Hidden Harbor is known to us. She revealed herself to us when she reached out to the city. The mistress was able to reach back and see her true face. We may know more about your employer than you.
So Penumbra's behind the riots and the whole shebang, huh? All them waitresses and coat check girls, dime-a dancers, and the arm candy draped across fat laps. They're all part of Penny's all-girl kill squad. And you're gonna take over Hidden Harbor? That's her plan?
I would not worry about the mistress. Her plan is underway. Even now, the first pawn is about to fall.
You're a stooge to a kinky madam, and I'm the pawn?
Of course not. I am, as she says, a rook, keeping the knight in check while the queen and the bishop take out the queen.
That's a classy way of putting it, dollface. But I'm a big fan of the chess match myself, and there's a little something I know about the game, too.
What is that?
The sacrifice play.
I will kill.
Sorry, sweetheart. You're the exception to my rule about a soft hand for the fairer sex. You weren't fair. Besides, you can't protect your queen if the knight still has a move on the board.
Meanwhile, inside the granite and steel fortress of Hidden Harbor's police department, an old man in prison coveralls sits impatiently. For decades, Willy Jermyn ruled from a throne of concrete and rebar, gobbling up all the construction work in the city. Through bribery and coercion, Jermyn had been above the law, until one egregious act could not go unpunished. Jermyn is unaware that the act that put him in jail is not the simple assault of an associate on a busy city street, but an act of cruelty, long forgotten by everyone but the woman who set out to take revenge for it.
Hey, Jermyn, here's your visitor. You got 10 minutes.
Finally, your excuse better have at least one corpse or a car fire, or I swear. Hey, what are you doing here?
I'm here to see you, Mr. Jermyn.
What do you mean? I don't need you. Well, maybe after I get out of here. But where is Kenny? I need my law dog.
Thank you, Officer Pangborn. You may go.
I asked you a question.
But you haven't even invited me to sit down. Poor manners. I've never been inside a rat cage before. Quite cramped and stuffy.
I'll ask you one last time before I slap the smug off that sour kisser.
Mr. Pachuco is not representing you anymore. I am.
You? I didn't know you got a law degree.
As you know quite well, I am skilled in quite a few complex disciplines.
Yeah. Hey. What's this all about?
How long have you been a guest at my club, Willy? 15 years? All these years you managed to buy up all the construction work in Hidden Harbor.
I still want to know what's going on, lady. Why are you here and not one of my boys?
I bought you out. See, the boys and I had a meeting this morning.
The boys? My boys? What about?
About you. A lot of gangs and organizations in this town are tougher to crack. They're family run, or there's a lot of loyalty protecting the head of each gang. But you, Willy, you ruled through fear.
That's right. Like they say, you either play or get out of the way.
I've heard that so many times, Willy. After every new acquisition, when you cleaned house, you'd sprawl across my couch and brag to me all about it. No second chances, you said. How many lieutenants did you let go in that time? 10?
You can't get good help these days. What can I say?
Your lieutenants talked about a lot of things. There were many smiles, some laughter, and a deal that made everyone in your little inner circle very happy.
So they decided, without my input, to sell out to some broad with a cat house? You're lucky I didn't decide to buy out that whole building and make you and your trussed-up floozies all
No, Willy. Don't disrespect my organization or its people. We're the only thing standing between you and 50,000 volts. I bought out your businesses, right under your nose.
Prove it, Toots.
Here's the paperwork. Well, copies. I use the same corrupt lawyers and bankers you used to run all your competition out of town. I'll just need you to sign a few things to make it official.
What are you talking about? You get Dooley and Hobbs down here right now and we'll sort all this out. You really do not want to go toe-to-toe with me, you kinky freak.
I actually got the idea from you. Your plan was clumsy and obviously designed to fail, but after I made a few modifications... Willy, you need to relax, dear. Your face is like a bad sunburn.
You better think twice. I got people in the force, in this building, who won't let you leave alive if I say so.
Sweetheart, I know all of them. They work for me now. I don't really need you to sign. I could just stab you in the neck and forge your signatures, the way you took out the Bromstein family when Hamish rejected your third and final offer. That was what, 1926? That crime remained unsolved for a decade. But things change.
What do you mean? I'm in here on an assault rap.
Willy Jermyn, they finally caught you, didn't they? Somebody knows where all your bodies are buried. You're not skipping out on this one. Right now, Police are digging up the ground underneath your 34th Street warehouse. Now you can sign these documents, and I can get you out of here and give you the same generous pension I give all my girls. Or you can choose to pretend like you still have some kind of power. You're behind the bars.
Stupid, crazy bitch!
I loved the Bromsteins, Willy. Ruth was my best friend growing up in the neighborhood. I wanted you to be the first to fall when I started my takeover, Willy. So say hello to the Bromsteins for me when you get to hell. Officer Pangborn?
Yes, mistress. Oh.
Go fetch Sergeant Holliday. You boys have a mess to clean up for me. But save me his head. Have it delivered to this address. And Pangborn.
Yes, mistress.
If you have any time off, I suggest you take it. Leave town for a few days. These past 24 hours were just a warm-up.
Following her revealing interrogation of Michael McBrien, the Femme Phantom has returned to her stately manor in downtown Hidden Harbor in her guise as socialite Barbara Wilson. Accompanied by her stalwart associates, Cat Sparrow and Caspar Dixon, our heroine is determined to get to the bottom of Mistress Penumbra's plot. As they arrive through their private entrance, they are surprised to see the manor packed with frightened friends and neighbors.
What's this? It's like Hidden Harbor's elite stopped by for tea.
Why are they here?
Come into the parlor, my friends. I'm not ready to see anyone. Caspar, did you stow away my costume?
I handed it off to Krane. He's taking it to the lab for improvements. You're right, Barbara. It looks like the Wilson Foundation members. The Getz Museum Board and a few city councilors there, too. I can see Foster. He looks beside himself.
Should I help Foster handle them?
No, I need you here. Keep an eye on him from the door, Caspar. No one will recognize you.
He's out to sea without an oar, Barbara. Even though you were able to keep the city from rioting, the people are still terrified, trying to clean up the damage.
That's what we're trying to deal with here.
Yes, as the Femme Phantom. But the city also needs Barbara Wilson. Does Foster even know you're safe? He hasn't seen you since.
I don't need a lecture right now, Caspar. What I need are answers. Has Detective Horn checked in yet?
No, but I do have some information that makes sense of what McBrien told you in the hospital. I just got word that Willy Jermyn was found dead in a holding cell downtown.
Jermyn? He's been dodging justice for years with his slippery gang of lawyers.
He fed a lot of inspectors and union bosses with cement shoes.
It hasn't hit the wire yet, but I got a feeling this is just the first mysterious death we're going to see in Hidden Harbor.
Watch out, here comes old Fancy Pants.
Oh, thank God. Barbara, you're safe.
Foster! Yes,
Oh, my dear, you look a wreck. Last I heard, you were heading into that dreadful disaster at the city mission. I thought you were...
No need to fuss over me, Edwin. As you can see, I'm... Oh! Well, there's no need to, cling to me like I'm a raft at sea. I'm still flesh and blood.
Oh, my darling, I was lost thinking you were hurt, or worse. Then I heard a voice strangely like your own, comforting me. I thought for certain it was your spirit.
He certainly did miss you, Miss Wilson.
Any closer and he'd be behind you.
Caspar. I appreciate your concern, darling. Certainly, many of us are afraid of what's happening in the city. What is happening downstairs?
I've asked board members to assemble in the library tonight to discuss the immediate needs. There are dozens of people displaced from the mission, and the fires downtown have left people homeless. Many will be out of work. They all had a moment of hope as I did, as we all did. But that hope dies in the reality that all they have is gone.
Well, you're a good man, Edwin. Cat?
Yes, ma'am.
Please assist Mr. Foster in his arrangements.
Very well, miss.
But Barbara, the board needs your input on several matters, not the least of which is the release of funds to assist the recovery and, oh, goodness me, I'm such an absent-minded fool, Barbara. One moment.
What is it, Foster?
Miss Schwerin. Rocker. Back here, please.
What is this, Edwin? Who?
I was so excited to see you safe that I forgot that a woman acquainted with your late father arrived to speak with you.
My father? Who would come to...
Guten Abend, Fräulein Wilson. I'm here to unite you with your father.
I know that face. Talon.
From our psychic link.
What? I say, where did you get that machine?
Get down!
Having recognized Barbara Wilson from her psychic broadcast, Mistress Talon has unleashed her vengeance in an effort to stop the Femme Phantom once and for all. Who will be left standing when the gun falls silent? Who will stand between Mistress Penumbra and the success of her evil plot? Tune in again Monday for the next thrilling episode of Hidden Harbor Mysteries.
Hidden Harbor Mysteries Chapter 10, Old Debts, New Obligations, was written by J. Smith and produced by Brian Lincoln. With Dave Robison as the narrator, Veronica Giguere as Barbara Wilson, Kathryn Pryde as Mistress Penumbra, Laura Nicole as Cat Sparrow, James Baxter Patton as Caspar Dixon, Johnny Fiesty as Foster, Lauren Harris as Mishka Rosenko, M. Sierro Garcia as Mistress Talon, Alex White as Officer, Pat Krane as Willy Jermyn, and Norm Sherman as Detective Horn. This podcast is released under a Creative Commons Attribution, No Derivatives 4.0 license. Closing music is Here We Go Again for the First Time by Juicy Melon Jim. This has been a Brian Lincoln production.